Hi, hello, namaste. A very warm welcome to bio classes. In the previous class, we focused on agarose gel electrophoresis technique. That means how to isolate and how to separate the DNA fragments we observed. So there in that previous class, we observed that diagram, the agarose gel electrophoresis diagram, and there we observed that how to separate the how to isolate the DNA fragments according to their size. And for that one, majorly we focused on the charges of DNA. What is the charge of DNA? Negative charge. If the DNA is having the negative charge, means with the help of positive charge we are going to drag the DNA fragments from one position to another position. While dragging the DNA, while the DNA fragments are going to move at that time, depending on their size, so larger fragments will move slowly, medium fragments will move furthermore compared to that larger fragment, and smaller fragments will move very fast. And one side we will be having one reference DNA fragment movement. So along with that one we are going to match, and then finally we are going to isolate the DNA fragment. So that experiment we observed in the yesterday's class, of course. So we are going to isolate the DNA, but here for construction of rDNA we need a one more tool, major tool. So that tool is cloning a vector. What the tool is? Cloning a vector. So the question will be arised, what actually that cloning a vector meaning is. So vector means already we know what actually that vector is. Vector is vehicle. Vector means vehicle. In case of a malaria life cycle, that means a plasmodium life cycle, we observed. So female anopheles mosquito is a vector for transferring of plasmodium vivax from one body to another body. So vector means vehicle, transmitting material. So here vector is present, and that vector I will refer it as, in a general term I will refer it as a vehicle. So this vehicle, it is a present in the form of molecule. That means molecular vehicle. So here vector is a molecular vehicle. What actually that molecular vehicle is? DNA. Now that molecule is a DNA, and DNA itself is acting as a vehicle for transferring of a suitable gene or any desired gene from one body to another body. So now this DNA is special here, and this DNA is having some special features, and those special feature containing a DNA helps in the transferring of our desired gene. That means it is acting as a vehicle, and that vehicle, for that vector we are using one more term, cloning a vector. Which term we are using? Cloning a vector. And already I think you have heard this term, clone. During asexual reproductions, so many offsprings are going to form, and all the offsprings are looking exactly structural and morphologically similar. Such organisms group we will refer of them as clones. So that thing already we know. So in the same way, clone producing a process is cloning. Clone producing a process is cloning. So here I will refer it as clone means similar multiple copies of any template DNA. That means any piece of the DNA, any template DNA can be multiplied, and all those pieces, all those template DNA pieces are similar. Hence we will refer them as clone of DNA, and producing process is cloning. And here this template DNA means, so it is our gene, that means desired gene. So this is one desired gene. This desired gene is, its copy number is multiplied when it is inserted into a vector. That means a special DNA. When a desired gene, what actually the work of this desired gene? This desired gene, it is expressing one particular character. That particular character is responsible for showing one product, and that product is useful for us. That means we need this desired gene. Say for example insulin gene. So we need many copies of this gene. That means we have to xerox these copies. These genes we need to xerox. For xeroxing these copies, we are using one vector, and that vector will refer as cloning vector. The simple thing, in this vehicle, when we insert this DNA, then its copy numbers are increased more. We can get many copies. That process is cloning. Right. So here, which DNA we are using as a cloning vector? Which DNA we are using as cloning vector? Say for example, before going to that, let me tell you. Let us imagine this is a host cell. Let us imagine, and this is the DNA, and then this host cell, inside it is having one plasmid. Let us consider it is having one plasmid. What actually that plasmid is? Circular extra chromosomal double stranded DNA. Now we are going to take out this plasmid outside, right? We are going to take the plasmid outside, and we are going to cut and open the plasmid. Now the plasmid is cut and opened. Now to this plasmid, we are going to add our desired gene. Now this total structure we will refer it as rDNA, right? This is rDNA. Now rDNA is entered back to the host cell. Now rDNA entered back to the host cell. Now this gene, this desired gene is going to multiply, and that process is cloning. Why? Because after the multiplication, same copy numbers, same exact genes are multiplied, produced. But to introduce this gene inside this host cell, and to make this desired gene to be expressed inside this host cell, so here this desired gene should be mixed with the plasmid. Now this plasmid is acting as a vehicle for transferring of our desired gene, and this vehicle I will refer it as vector. What I will refer it as? Vector. And this vector helps in making multiple copies inside the host cell. Hence I will refer it as cloning vector. Right? Now, which are those cloning vectors majorly? So here, as already we know, plasmid is working as a cloning vector. The best example for cloning vector is plasmid, the first one. So plasmid means it is a double-stranded extra chromosomal autonomously replicating DNA, and this plasmid usually we will observe in case of bacteria, and in case of yeast also we can see the plasmid. This is the main DNA, that means major DNA, and this circular extra DNA we will refer it as plasmid. And this plasmid is present in the bacteria, that is a bacterial plasmid. And also in some of the yeast we can see the plasmid. And one more thing, all the bacteria do not have plasmid. All the bacteria do not have the plasmid. That means this DNA may be present or may not be present. In the same way, all the yeast cannot have the plasmid, may be or may not be. So this is the plasmid acting as a cloning vector, one thing. And in the same way, bacteriophage also working as a cloning vector. So this is the important thing. Which one? Bacteriophage. It is also working as a cloning vector. So what actually this bacteriophage is? Bacteriophage, it is the virus which is attacking to bacteria. Virus attacking to bacteria. So this is the thing here. Bacteriophage, it is a one virus that is attacking to the bacteria, as already we know. So one process. First I am going to draw the diagram. Then you just imagine what this process is. Here on host cell is present. Then it is having the nucleus. Inside the nucleus it is having the DNA. Right? And now one virus is going to enter. So this is the virus. It is going to enter inside this host cell. When it is entering, its genetic material will be entered inside. What is going to enter inside? Genetic material. Say for example, if this is the DNA virus, What type of virus this is? DNA virus. Virus attacking to bacteria. Let us consider this is the bacteria. Actually this is not the bacterial diagram. Actually this is the eukaryotic cell. I think you have seen this kind of diagram in human health and disease chapter, right? So in human health and disease chapter, HIV virus is attacking to the macrophage cells. I think already you have heard this one. So now let us imagine this is virus and this is bacteria. Actually this is not the bacteria. Let us imagine bacteria. When virus is attacking to the bacteria, so virus, it is introducing its genetic material inside the host cell. Now the host cell is bacteria, and this virus we will refer it as bacteriophage. What we'll call it as? Bacteriophage. Bacteriophage attacking to bacteria. Now imagine virus DNA entered inside, right? Now suppose if we introduce our gene in this DNA, means then our DNA also entering inside. That means bacteriophage helps in transferring of our desired gene into one bacteria. Hence bacteriophage also working as cloning vector, right? These are the two major cloning vectors. And apart from these cloning vectors, still we are having some more cloning vectors. So for example, we are having PageMed. This is also one cloning vector. And one more is there here, Cosmid. PageMed, Cosmid. So these two are also working as a cloning vectors. But for our syllabus, we are majorly focusing on these two cloning vectors. One is plasmid, one is bacteriophage. Are you getting the point? So cloning vector means it's a simple work is transferring of our desired gene into the host cell and making the many copies of that gene inside that host cell. For that we are using one special DNA. So that DNA we will refer it as cloning vector. So here the famous cloning vectors are plasmids and bacteriophages, right? These are the cloning vectors. Okay, now let us consider the same example here. When a virus will enter inside one cell, then the DNA mixes with this DNA, host DNA, then producing many copies of this viral particles, right? So for example, 100 viral particles are produced inside the host cell. 100 viral particles get produced. After production of 100 copies, this host cell is going to broken down. So its membrane is going to rupture. Then all the 100 viral particles will come outside, right? Already we have seen in the diagram in the life cycle of HIV. Now one viral particle, again one viral particle or one virus attacking new host cell. So right, so this is the mechanism actually. But entering attacking virus is just one. Inside it will multiply 100 times. That means 100 copies are produced. 100 copies are produced. And each particle, each virus is having one DNA. But entering DNA just one. That means one DNA multiplied or developed or replicated 100 times and producing 100 DNAs. That means the copy number of this DNA is 100. What we'll call it as copy number. The copy number of this DNA is 100. So this is major term we need to focus on. Copy number of DNA. So this is the thing here. Copy number means when that DNA enters inside, how many times that DNA is going to multiply and how many copies are produced. So that will refer it as copy number, right? Okay. Now let me show you with another diagram. Let us consider this is one virus, and this virus, it is going to attack one bacterial cell. So this is one bacterial cell attacking to a bacterial cell, right? Now this a bacterial cell, it is having its own DNA already, and in the same way it is also having one DNA, that virus. Now virus attacking to the bacteria is bacteriophage, right? So when this virus will attack, so the DNA is released. The DNA of virus is released inside. Now this DNA mixes with host DNA. This DNA mixes with host DNA. After mixing, so many viruses are produced inside. Many viruses are produced inside. Now what I am doing is, into this virus I am going to introduce our desired gene. So this is our desired gene. I am going to introduce our desired gene into this DNA, into the DNA of bacteriophage. Then when that DNA enters inside, it is having our desired gene, right? That gene mixes with the host DNA and producing many copies. That means all the producing viruses are having one copy of this gene. So that we will refer it as copy number. Suppose if this is not the bacteria, sorry, if it is not the virus attacking here, let us consider same as usual on bacterial cell. So I will refer it as a host cell here, right? So now inside this bacterial cell, as usual, normal DNA is present, and along with this normal DNA, it is having one plasmid. It is having one plasmid. And one thing, bacteria, whether it may be having or may not be having the plasmid, that is the thing. And also, if the plasmid is present means, always it need not to be just one plasmid. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟಾದ್ರೂ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ. That means here the plasmid number may be 1 to 100. In a bacterial cell, if the plasmid is present means, plasmid means circular DNA, extra chromosomal DNA. If the bacterial plasmid is present means, its number may be 1 to 100. This kind of one plasmid may present or 100 plasmid may be present. So in that range, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 50. So whatever the number it might be, plasmids are present here. And in the same way, different kinds, that means 1 to 11 different types of plasmids may be present. I'm talking about the type of plasmid. The type of plasmid may be 1 to 11 different kinds of plasmid may be present in one host cell, and one plasmid copy number may be 1 to 100. So imagine, suppose if we ligate, if we insert or if we link our desired gene with this plasmid, then how many times this plasmid is going to replicate, such many times our desired gene also replicating. Then how many times this plasmid is replicating, how many times this plasmid is doubling, then it's a copy number. That is the copy number of that DNA, that plasmid. So in that sense, whether copy number should be more or less, copy number should be more. Why? When copy number is more times the plasmid is replicating and plasmid is linked with our desired gene, that means our desired gene also replicating many times, hence copy number should be more here, right? So here, compared to plasmid, bacteriophage copy number is more. Are you getting the point? Copy number. And next one. So here one more point we need to observe here. The copy number of any cloning vector, whether it is a plasmid or that is the virus, that means bacteriophage or the plasmid, the copy number is depending on its ORI. ORI means origin of replication. It is depending on origin of replication. every DNA for its replication, it is having an origin, ORI. I think you have heard this one in case of replication process. That origin of replication is important for deciding this copy number. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾರಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, 10 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, 20 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, 100 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಆ ಕಾಪಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಆ DNA ದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ORI, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ very simple thing I'm talking about. Now here one person is there, and here one more person. This person is having a Plasmodium vivax, the organism which will cause the malaria. This person is having Plasmodium vivax, right? And Plasmodium vivax is already causing malaria to this person. These Plasmodium vivax should be transferred to this healthy person. Who will transfer? That is the mosquito. By the mosquito, Plasmodium vivax will be transferred. Now the mosquito is working as a vector. It is working as vector. In the same way, transferring of our desired gene, we need one cloning vector. That cloning vector is plasmid or bacteriophage. But here, majorly we are using, in most of the biotechnological processes, we are using majorly plasmid as a cloning vector, right? Now let us consider that plasmid. So here plasmid is extra chromosomal circular double stranded DNA. Extra chromosomal circular double stranded DNA present in either bacteria or yeast. Now it is acting as cloning vector for transferring of our desired gene into the suitable host cell. And here the measure in biotechnology, majorly we are using artificially prepared plasmids. So right now till now I showed this is the natural plasmid. That means this plasmid is already present in the bacterial cell. So in the same way we can prepare artificial plasmid also. That means we are having two kinds of plasmids. Natural plasmid and one more artificial plasmid. So we can use here. We are having so many artificial plasmids, and these artificial plasmids are prepared in the lab according to our wish. That means in this artificial plasmids we can control the copy number, we can decide the copy number. But natural plasmids, in the natural plasmids we cannot regulate the copy number. So hence for these experiments, for construction of our DNA, majorly we are using artificial plasmids. So here the majorly two artificial plasmids are there here, and most of the times used in rDNA construction. So one is PBr322, one plasmid, and one more plasmid is there here, that is PUC18. PBr322 and PUC18. PUC, pre-university course. No, not that one. Okay, the plasmid name is PBr322. This is the plasmid name, artificial plasmid. And one more plasmid we are going to use, that is PUC18. So I'll tell you what actually this PBr is. Here in both the cases, P means plasmid, P is plasmid, and B means Bolivar. This is the scientist name. B is Bolivar. R means Rodriguez. Bolivar and Rodriguez. Bolivar, Rodriguez, both the scientists together, they produced one artificial plasmid and that artificial plasmid, it is 322nd plasmid. That means 322, 322nd plasmid in their laboratory. So the whole abbreviation we are given with PBR 322. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಬೋಲಿವರ್ ರೋಡ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇಬ್ರು ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಆ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಅವರ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿರೋ 322ನೇ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್, ಅದು 322 ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ PBR 322, this plasmid, it is an artificial plasmid constructed by 3 different plasmids. That means already so many plasmids were present. By using 3 different plasmids, Bolivar and Rodriguez produced PBR 322 plasmid. Right? And for our syllabus, majorly we are given with this plasmid, PBR 322 plasmid. And one more plasmid we can use, that is a PUC 18. So here PUC 18 means plasmid produced in the University of California. Produced in the University of California, and its order is 18th. That's a number. We can use this one also. But here majorly we are using this plasmid compared to this one, and for our syllabus we are given with this plasmid, PBR 322 plasmid. Right? Now let us focus on this PBR 322 plasmid. Right. So this plasmid constructed by 2 scientists. Just I told you, one scientist is Bolivar and another scientist is Rodriguez. Bolivar and Rodriguez. So both they together prepared this plasmid and they given the number 322. That is the order of isolation order, that 322. Right? And this plasmid, it is just I told you, it is a prepared from mixing of 3 different plasmids. It is prepared from mixing of 3 different plasmids. And one major specialty of this plasmid, using of this plasmid is, so it supports high copy number. What it does? It supports high copy number inside any host cell. First thing, it supports high copy number. And the second thing is, it is having MCS. That is one more thing. It is having MCS. MCS means multiple cloning sites. Multiple cloning sites. That is one more thing. Multiple cloning site. Okay, let me tell you what it is. So let me consider, this is one plasmid. Right now I am having. Imagine this is one plasmid, circular plasmid. Right? So circular plasmid, and here I can cut the plasmid and the whole sequence of the plasmid I know. Actually, how actually this plasmid is formed? So imagine, we know this is the structure of DNA already. Right? Imagine this side and this side of the DNA, if we coil, if we connect, then whether the structure will be looking like this. Now both the ends are joined. Now this is the linear DNA. This is linear DNA. And now this is circular DNA. One is linear DNA, one is circular DNA. And DNA means it is having so many base pairs, right? Now we know the whole sequence of this DNA. We know the whole sequence of this DNA. How many base pairs are present and what type of base pairs are present, and the sequence of those base pairs we know. Then we can cut the plasmid at any place by using REN. by using what? REN, restriction endonuclease enzyme. The restriction endonuclease enzyme is going to cut plasmid at our desired location. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಕಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಂಡೋನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗಿರೋ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತು. ವೆನ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದ palindromic sequence present in this plasmid, according to that palindromic sequence we are using respective restriction endonuclease enzyme. Say for example, one example I am giving you here. In this position here, GAATTC, this sequence is present. Gattac sequence GAATTC. Now this sequence is present here. That means I can cut the plasmid exactly here by using echo R1. By using what? Echo R1. I can cut the plasmid here. After cutting, the plasmid will be opened and then we can insert our desired gene. Then it becomes rDNA. Now here echo R1 is going to recognize its Gattac sequence in the plasmid and it is going to cut there. After cutting, gap is created. Into the gap our desired gene is added. Then this site I will consider it as cloning site. What I will refer it as cloning site. And PBR322, it is having multiple cloning site. That means if I am having 5 different genes, then all the 5 different genes can be inserted here on gene, here on gene, here on gene, here on gene, here on gene. But to insert all the 5 different genes, I have to cut this plasmid by using 5 different restriction endonuclease enzymes. That means I need to have 5 different cloning sites. Then it is a multiple cloning site. That means at a time we can multiply different enzymes, different genes by using one vector. ಇದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೋಡಿಯಂ ವೈವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಬೈಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೋಡಿಯಂ ವೈವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ. ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೋಡಿಯಂ ವೈವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಡೆಂಗ್ಯೂ ವೈರಸ್, ಚಿಕನ್ಗುನ್ಯಾ ವೈರಸ್. Imagine all the 3 pathogens are introduced by using just one mosquito. Then this mosquito we will refer it as multiple cloning site. ಅದೇ ತರ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಈಗ. So here this PBR322 is having multiple cloning site. So that is the important thing here for consideration of that plasmid. Now we are having this circular plasmid, right? And here for every plasmid, for whatever the plasmid it might be, 3 features are compulsory. If the 3 features are present for that plasmid, then that plasmid is acting as best cloning site. For any cloning site, 3 features are compulsory. The first feature is ORI. That means origin of replication. It must be present for any DNA to replicate. So ORI should be present in this plasmid. Second thing, it must be having MCS. That means multiple cloning site. It should be having cloning sites. It is the second feature for plasmid. Third thing, it must be having selectable markers. It must be having selectable markers. If these features are present for any plasmid, then that plasmid we will refer it as cloning vector. Right? What we will refer it as? Cloning vector. So this is how we observed till now. Cloning vector, regarding the cloning vector. Right? Now, let me consider how actually that PBR322 is looking like. Yes. So which plasmid this is? PBr322 plasmid. And the size of this plasmid. So here this is circular DNA, right? Imagine this is the DNA, circular DNA, and these are all lines are base pairs. What all these are? Base pairs. Then what is the size of this plasmid? If you consider, its size is 4.3 kbps. That means 4.3 kilo base pairs. That's the size of this PBr322 plasmid. 4.3 kilo base pair means, kilo base pair means 1000 base pairs. Kilo base pair means 1000 base pairs. 4.3 kbps means 4300 base pairs are present in this plasmid. How many base pairs? 4300 base pairs. This is the size of this plasmid. Just I told you, the plasmid should be having, and this plasmid is made up of mixing three different plasmids. And here, just I told you, the major three properties for any plasmid to act as a cloning vector. First thing, it must be having origin of replication. Second thing, it must be having cloning sites, multiple cloning sites. Third thing, it must be having selectable markers. Now let us see how those are present here, right? So here in this plasmid, I have mentioned ORI. ORI means origin of replication. See here, this blue segment. This total blue segment, it is origin of replication. That means this DNA is going to double. This DNA is going to double. Say for example, imagine this is one circular plasmid, right? This is one circular plasmid. This circular plasmid is going to double like this, right? One copy, it is going to double like this. When it is opening, so replication starts from this particular sequence. So that is origin of replication. And this origin of replication, it will control copy number. What it is going to control? Copy number. That means how many times this plasmid is going to replicate, how many times this plasmid is doubling, that is, we will refer it as copy number. That copy number is decided by origin of replication. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾರಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು? origin of replication. And here in the plasmid you can see different colors. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕಲರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ರೀಸನ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಲರ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಶನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Now here this yellow color portion, here it is a producing this particular sequence, it is acting as one gene, and that gene producing one protein. That protein is ROP. That means replication related protein. Here the replication is going to start means, for replication related one protein is produced from this portion. This is ROP. Next, let us mark from this position, from this mark to this mark, this total region, this total purple color, this total, it is acting as one gene. It is acting as one gene, and the name of that gene is tetracycline resistant gene. Which gene? Tetracycline resistant gene. And the same way, here also one mark is there here. This total gene, it is acting as ampicillin resistant gene. Which gene? Ampicillin resistant gene. This is tetracycline resistant gene, and this is ampicillin resistant gene. Now you can ask the question, what actually these genes are? These two genes, we will refer them as selectable markers. So what we'll call them as selectable markers, and usually the selectable markers are antibiotic resistant genes. What those selectable markers are? Antibiotic resistant genes. These two are antibiotic resistant gene. Here TET means tetracycline. Tetracycline is one antibiotic. And AMP means ampicillin. Ampicillin one antibiotic. Here R means resistant genes. That means antibiotic resistant genes both are. These two are antibiotic resistant genes. And both we will refer them as selectable markers. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಈ ಜೀನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಇರಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನು, ಸೊ ಅದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅದನ್ನ. ಬಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್, selectable markers are compulsory for any suitable cloning vector. ಕ್ಲೋನಿಂಗ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋನಿಂಗ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕರ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. So here these two are the antibiotic resistant genes acting as cloning vectors, right? The next one here, the major part. Here on the vector we are going to see some marks. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇದು ECO R1, Escherichia coli R strain first enzyme. So this is one REN, restriction endonuclease enzyme, as already we know. In the same way, these are also restriction endonuclease enzymes. Say for example, if I want to cut this plasmid, and if I add ECO R1 enzyme, when ECO R1 enzyme is added here ECO R1 enzyme is going to cut the plasmid particularly here. At this mark it is going to cut. Why? Because here Gattac sequence is present, GAATTC, Gattac sequence is present here. Then it is going to cut the plasmid here and the plasmid will be opened. Now it is one cloning site. What it is working as? Cloning site. In the same way, here 8 different cloning sites are present. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cloning sites are present. Hence, we will refer it as multiple cloning sites. That means we can cut the plasmid by using these enzymes. All these are the restriction endonuclease enzyme sites. That means all of these are the recognition sites. That means we can cut the plasmid here, or here we can cut, or here we can cut, or here we can cut the plasmid, and here we can cut the plasmid. That means we can cut the plasmid at 8 different positions and we can add our desired gene in between. So all these are the multiple cloning sites, right? So 3 properties, what are those? First one is origin of replication. Origin of replication, the first major feature of any plasmid or any cloning vector. And the second one is antibiotic resistant genes, selectable markers. That is second major feature. And the third one, multiple cloning sites. So these are the major 3 features of this PBR 322 plasmid. In the next class, let us see. Okay, ನಾವು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಏನು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಕ್ಲೋನಿಂಗ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಅದು ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕರ್ದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಸೈರ್ಡ್ ಜೀನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಎಸ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.